don't have anything, Mr. Mayor.
Nothing. I've got a couple of things I want to say, and I'll be as brief as I can, but, excuse me, I do want to say, actually I want to ask a couple of things of the citizens of Pelham tonight during my report. It's no secret that we've been struggling for, well, since the recession here. And we're still feeling the effects of the worst economic times that we've seen since the 1930s. As a city, we rely on many different sources of revenue. We rely on property taxes, hotel motel taxes, sales taxes, grants, inmate housing, natural gas and the sale of natural gas and water, business licenses, and other sources of revenue. As a general rule, it is a good practice for municipalities to keep on reserve a large percentage of what their budget is in reserves. Until leading up to the 2009 beginning of recession, and when things began to get more difficult, we were on track getting to that point. As a result of losing such significant revenue from inmate housing, property and sales taxes, and other sources, the city was unable to continue operating without using those reserves. So since the recession, around $3 million has been cut from our budget, operating budget for the city of Pelham. That is the largest percentage cut we've ever taken since the Great Depression as a city. And I just want to put these things in perspective a little bit. Coupled with lack of revenue, and the city of Pelham has suffered from foreclosures and closing businesses as well as a result of the worldwide recession. I wish, all of us wish we could say we know when this is going to end, but we don't. And that we would be able to restore every service provided that we were providing 4 years ago. However, it's been difficult at best to predict even what we can do next month. And what next month will bring. People have asked over and over, when will we get the revenue back up? And the best answer that we can give is we don't know, but we're trying everything we can. Each month we have to lean hard on other municipalities that owe us money for keeping inmates, and sometimes we're not paid for 2 to 3 months at a time because they too are suffering from this recession. So it's a domino effect. At each group of the many budget meetings that we have had over the last 3 years, long and sometimes painful discussions and decisions have had to be made. Every business or entity that the city of Pelham works with has ideas that will work best for them. But we have to consider everybody. We have to consider how these things affect everyone, not just one entity that we work with. An example, in this country right now, there's a lot of talk about taxes, raising taxes, not raising taxes. And this, if taxes were raised here to help offset some of the cost of some of the overhead that we've got, it has an effect, possibly a detrimental effect on just the people of the citizens of this town. What may seem like an easy fix in some ways can be very detrimental, can hurt others. As employees here have retired or moved on or been let go, we have refrained from hiring. As a result, some services that used to be quick and easy for us to accomplish can take days, if not weeks, to complete. That's just the reality. As of right now, Doug, our city manager, is acting as public works supervisor on top of his regular duties as running the city every day. Public Works has a staff of 4. That's down by half of what it was last year. Because of this, immediate action cannot be taken sometimes to repair potholes, to edge streets or clean gutters, or provide other services in a timely manner when just about a year or 2 ago a phone call to the city would have been all that was needed. As we move forward, we will continue to meet as a council and work with Doug to trim costs when possible. At my request this past week, Doug emailed as many people as he could on his list. We didn't have time to get in the paper, but we need to begin turning off some of the lights that Georgia Power supplies us. The first to turn off were those on Highway 19. Those are the most expensive lights that we operate in the city. It will translate into an enormous amount of savings to us at this time. As Doug emailed, and I tried to emphasize, this is temporary. This isn't a permanent thing. We will be looking at, and even tomorrow we'll be meeting with George Power again to look at possibly doing this in other parts of town. But we will be working with the chief and others, and of course city manager and other members of the council to decide what is the best way to go about doing such a thing. That is not unprecedented. This is going on all over the state. This is something that's become common during these difficult times. There's so many things that I could talk about and say, but all is not bad news. It feels like it sometimes. But there's two things I feel like I need to ask the citizens, and that is first to pray for our revenue, and very specifically for our inmate housing and, in my opinion, the hand trading company building. Both of which, the inmate housing, Chief McCormick is working very, very hard, along with Doug, to help us find a source of revenue to get us to a place where our revenue turns around. We are not a municipality that charges for power, so we don't have that extra money coming in. We can't. So we are limited in the sources of revenue that we have. We also need to find a large tenant for the hand building. That is a treasure of a building in the middle of this town. Filled up with people could turn the town around. Both of those could be sources of revenue in the long run for the city, and I would just ask for prayers for both of those. The second thing I would ask for is grace. Now, so many people have been so nice to Doug and the city about having to wait for certain things to happen. As we struggle to work through these times, please be patient with us. Doug and the staff at City Hall are doing all that they can do to get back to everyone needing assistance. Please know that we take all concerns and complaints and problems very seriously, and are doing all that we can with a limited staff. However, by extending grace and patience, we can all do a lot more. To say that we are frustrated as a council would be an understatement. We've had contentious meetings up here. We all get along great. This is a very good council, but it's just frustrating. I mean, it is just frustrating. I don't know how else to say that. And we all have the best interest of this city at heart, and we're doing everything we can. However, words of encouragement and understanding can calm nerves, extinguish anger, and help find solutions. If for any reason any citizen's not getting the attention or results that they need from City Hall, then I ask that they let me know, or let someone sitting up here know. We meet twice every month as a council, and we discuss everything that comes to us. And we have opportunity to talk about whatever's on our heart, whatever's on our minds about the city of Pelham. We'll continue to do so. We'll meet more often when we need to, but and we will do with everything within our power to move Pelham forward to better and more prosperous days, which I do believe are going to come. With that being said, I would like, unless there's any objection, a form of this information to be put in the utility statements next month, unless there's any objection on the council. And there'll be more, Reginald and the Pelham Journal have been very, very gracious in the past and allowed us space to put information in the paper, and Reginald, that information was emailed to you. So therefore, if that could be included, I would appreciate that.